Is it a wagon? Is it an SUV? Who cares? All I know is I'm a big fan of the 2020 Subaru Outback, partially due to its versatile design, but also because of its rugged character, and it's got excellent driving dynamics both on the road and in the dirt. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at the latest generation of Subaru Outback and tell you everything you need to know before you go out and buy one. I'm Travis from Edmunds. We test and review hundreds of cars, trucks, SUVs, and wagon-looking things every year, while CarMax buys, sells, and expertly appraises thousands. We're combining our car testing knowledge with CarMax's experience to help you make the right choice on your next car. Now, before we get into the video, do me a favor, click the like button below and mash that subscribe button so you can see all the CarMax videos you want. And if you want to see an in-depth article on the Subaru Outback and all of its competitors, click the link in the description below. What we've got here is a 2020 Subaru Outback XT. We like to classify it at Edmunds as a midsize SUV, which means it's the same or similar size and price to vehicles like the Ford Edge and the Honda Passport. Sure, the roofline is a little bit lower. It's about 6 inches lower than a Honda Passport, actually. That just means it's easier to load items onto the roof. And it's got a big trunk, a fold-down rear seat, and plenty of ground clearance to go exploring the trails. So if you still want to call it a wagon, I'm not going to fight you over it, but we like to call it an SUV. This is the 6th generation of the Subaru Outback, which is a testament to its popularity. I mean, anything that's been around that long, it's got to have something going for it. So, what did the 6th generation model get that previous models didn't? Well, the biggest change is right here. They upgraded the carryover 2.5-liter engine with more power in this generation, and they got rid of the old optional flat 6-cylinder engine and replaced it with an all-new turbocharged 2.4-liter 4-cylinder. This is the engine we'd recommend you look for. Just be aware that EPA fuel economy estimates take a slight hit when you upgrade to the 2.4-liter engine, but enjoying the Outback on the road becomes a lot easier. Other key changes include new looks via new headlights and taillights, plus this optional 11.6-inch center touchscreen display, which we'll get into in a bit. What hasn't changed is standard all-wheel drive and lots of ground clearance for driving on the trails. Now let's check out the interior. First impressions when you sit in the Subaru Outback are that it's a classy place to be. I mean, there are lots of nice soft touch points and really good materials on the inside here. Sure, this isn't borderline luxury, but this is the Onyx XT. If you want something more luxurious, you can always upgrade to the top-level touring trim. Getting in and out is easy thanks to large door openings, and even though you have to duck a little bit, you don't have to hop up into it like you do in some other higher riding SUVs. And thanks to a good seating position, drivers of all different sizes can get comfortable. The seat moves well, there's a lot of adjustability in the tilt and telescopic steering wheel, there's lots of legroom, lots of headroom, lots of footroom under the rear seats. One of the few gripes we do have with the interior of the Outback, though, is the infotainment interface. I'm a big fan of the graphics and the resolution. This touchscreen looks really good, but when you drill down and start to use some of the functions, it can be a little bit annoying. For instance, it's the middle of summer now, but in a cold winter, you want to turn on the heated seats, right? You have to press the heated seat button, which is on the touchscreen, and then select what level of seat heating you want. Just give me a physical button. That's what I'd prefer. And then there's the voice controls. Subaru's native voice controls, while they're okay, don't do well with natural language. They have a pretty specific menu structure of things you need to say to get where you want to be. So you can rely on instead Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The Apple CarPlay system, which I use, actually fills up the whole screen, which is nice. It used to just be half of this large optional 11.6-inch screen, but when it started to fill up the whole screen after the most recent software update, the buttons all stayed the same size. So they're pretty small and hard to see. It's a tiny gripe, but it's a gripe nonetheless. Then there's Subaru's optional driver focus system. We don't have it equipped on this XT model, but when you do get it, what happens is you get two little infrared readers on the dash that can tell what your face is doing. So much so that if you're getting drowsy on the road or you're looking down at your phone, which you shouldn't be doing, it'll alert you, hey, eyes on the road, or hey, maybe you're getting a little drowsy, time to pull over and get a cup of coffee. Also, that system can save driver profiles based on your face and set up things like your radio presets and your seating position. It's pretty futuristic stuff, and typically you only see that on high-end luxury vehicles like the Mercedes-Benz E-Class. Cargo space. It's got that. It has cargo space. Sure, it's not the most spacious vehicle in the segment, but it's got plenty of room for all your camping gear and some extra nice little side cubbies for bags of s'mores. And it doesn't really have as much space as the 4Runner or the Passport, but for your extra gear, there's a nice unique roof rack system that Subaru offers, where the roof racks stow away in the sides on the rails so they don't whistle along while you're driving. Then you just pop them out and use them when you need them for stuff like roof pods or kayak storage. And then, if you need even more space, you can get the option that this particular vehicle doesn't have, but that I would get. It would be the tow hitch. The tow hitch is rated to tow as much as 3,500 pounds in the Outback, and that's enough for a pretty decent sized trailer or something like a trailer hitch attachment where you can put your mountain bikes on the back. But enough about cargo space. Let's take this thing out for a drive. On the highway or on broken city streets, the Subaru is really comfortable. It's got good suspension that soaks up most of the bumps, and there's not a lot of road or wind noise. Turn on the stereo and you're able to drown most of it out. There's a lot of good visibility too, thanks to large windows and a large windshield and a low dashboard that's easy to see over. The optional 2.4-liter turbocharged engine is pretty peppy too. It's got a CVT, which doesn't have traditional gears, but it's got these paddle shifters that simulate gear shifting, and it actually helps the experience quite a bit. Then there's off-road driving. Sure, this isn't a rugged body-on-frame SUV with a ton of articulation, but it's actually pretty comfortable off-road, and it's got what's called Dual X mode, which is a number of traction selections in the screen here. So you can go with dirt and snow, normal, or deep snow and mud. So you can essentially tell the car what kind of terrain you're on and it'll respond accordingly. Also, the Outback has 8.7 inches of ground clearance, which is more than most traditional SUVs, so you're doing pretty good in that department as well. For weekend adventures, if you like to get off the grid, set up your solar panels, camp out under the stars for a few nights, the Outback's got what it takes. If there's a trail to get there, likelihood is the Subaru can make it. There are a lot of choices when it comes to midsize SUVs, and each one of them has something different to offer. What's unique about the Subaru, though, is that it combines off-road capability with on-road comfort. Sure, SUVs like the Wrangler or the 4Runner offer more aggressive approach and departure angles and heavy-duty four-wheel drive systems, but this is a much better daily driver. For something that's as good at handling city traffic as it is at handling weekend adventures, we say go with the Subaru Outback. And forever came up with jack of all trades but master of none and thought it was a negative thing? Never drove one of these. For an in-depth article with all the information on the 2020 Subaru Outback and all of its competitors, click the link in the description below. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the CarMax YouTube channel for more car reviews.